So let's talk about this Face ID thing. So unless you decided to live under a rock today, you probably already know that the new iPhone was announced today. In fact, 3 new iPhones, which that's a whole different subject. But today we're going to just talk about the iPhone X and this whole Face ID thing. See, I'm going to go all the way back to my experience with the Galaxy Note 7, which also was one of the first phones to introduce a whole face recognizing thing, at least in the modern day world where it was supposed to actually work and not one of those gimmicky features from yesteryears. And it worked pretty well, and it was one of those features that was cool when it worked. But honestly, when I was using that phone before it got recalled and everything, I ended up just using my passcode most of the time, or a fingerprint sensor, or anything other than the facial recognition. It's one of those features that sounds really cool, but I'm honestly pretty disappointed that Apple implemented it, and even more so the fact that it is replacing Touch ID full outright. I was really hoping that they would have this new Face ID thing. We saw in the leaks in the days prior that was pretty much going to be guaranteed because it was found in the software. But I was hoping that they would take the Google Pixel route and implement a Touch ID on the back, or hello, like everyone is asking, to put Touch ID under the Apple logo in the back. That seems a lot more feasible than, doing a whole Touch ID on the entire screen, which also would be sweet, but I can understand a lot of logistical issues with that. But there are a couple scenarios where I see this Face ID thing just being a total nightmare. One of them, heck, is from the demo today. It automatically didn't work.
Let's try that again. Ho ho ho.
Only take that with a grain of salt, and I know to do that too, because half the time for these presentations, the presenters are using beta software or early development or totally custom software that they pretty much make just for the presentation today. That may be to explain half the reason why the iPhone 10 is not going to be released until November 3rd, is so that they can fix issues like what happened on stage today. But let's say they get that fixed and all is well. November 3rd comes around, the phone starts rolling out and everybody's getting it, and you test it and it technically works the way that is advertised. I don't know about you, but the way I use my phone, I very rarely ever hold my phone up like this. Now, of course, they're advertising that you can be at a more natural level, I guess, but half the time when I turn on my phone, it's laying on a table like this, and I just reach over and put my finger on it to unlock. As well as when I'm using Apple when I'm using Apple Pay on vending machines or at a cash register, I just pull it out, and by the time I've pulled it out of my pocket, my thumb has already authenticated, and then I just tap it on the Pay system, and I don't have to have this extra step of lifting up to my screen, double tapping the lock button, I believe what it is now, holding it up to my face, swiping, and then tapping. And I understand all of this is completely first world problems, but I really think that Apple's going to create a couple more problems and they're going to solve with this Face ID thing. And end up being just like every other phone that has attempted it. And what that ultimately means is exactly like Lou from Unbox Therapy said.
You might build in the habit of just using the passcode all over again like you have on previous devices. This thing needs to be bang on if it's going to have widespread adoption.
If this thing becomes way too difficult to use, or doesn't work half the time, or doesn't work the way it is advertised, people are going to then result to just using passcodes, and half of them were using no passcode or any security of any kind. And the fact that there's no B plan or something to fall back on, like Touch ID on the back or anywhere, then ultimately that leaves a heck of a lot of iPhones unsecured and unlocked, which is something that Apple has prided itself on and for many years. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you feel the same? Just to get it all out there before you leave a bunch of comments. Absolutely, I loved every other feature, or at least mostly every other feature from the phone in the announcement today. I'm absolutely still going to buy this phone. And yeah, so this is just my big rant, and let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.